Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nato and Samantha Perry with you here as we kick off another 3-day race week. Look at the weather. Finally, it's come around here. Beautiful weather for the weekend today as well. It's a big weekend too. We've got a turf stakes tomorrow to wrap up the card, and tomorrow's going to be a mandatory Rainbow Six as well. Looking very forward to that. We've been talking about it a little bit, filmed some videos, things like that. Tough sequence, especially that finale. That turf stakes is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's loaded with 2-year-olds and of really nice 2-year-old fillies, and some of them trying the grass for the first time. Look at that. It starts in race 6. We'll all have tickets. We'll all have everything out there. And also, speaking of Rainbow Six and just the Pick 6 in general, our sister track at Santa Anita has got a double?
No, double carryover.
Just double? I thought it was 3 days.
This is not the TTT Pick 3 here.
No.
So that's going to, stick around. If you're in silks, you're bopping around, you're home, you're playing, happy hour time. Double Pick 6 carryover at our sister track at Santa Anita. That's a fun one as well. But we've got the Rainbow here today, too. Now, mandatory tomorrow regardless. But today we've got about $125,000 in the estimated jackpot 9-race Friday card. That'll come about in race number 4. Ronnie's coming up a little bit later on. He's got a ticket, very healthy carryover. So get involved in that. It's not an easy sequence today either on this 9-race card. We are fast and firm. That is great to see as well. And of course, we've got the early pick 5 to kick off the card too in about 56 minutes. Let's take a look at my ticket. Not a lot of scratches. Pete doesn't have a lot to do upstairs. We like that. As I said, weather's cooperated here. I'm spreading deep in the opener. You can see the single, back-to-back singles, a 6-9 single on that in race 3. That is actually my best bet in race number 3, and that is the 9 Pascal Moon. In race 4, 3 deep there with the 4 Corona Princess. In race number 5, my long shot is Gemstone Warrior. We've got a replay to show you of his last Tapeta race at 48-1. He's trying to get back to the entry box, and he's going to do so today. $26 early pick 5. We'll start it out in the opener here. 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. 12-5 maiden claimer, a full field of 11. It's a clean race, but I will note that Melvis Gonzalez will now be at 119. The 7-pound bug looks like it's gone. 119 for the 1 with Melvis Gonzalez. You are on the 10, who I have Nowheresville, who's favored right now. Zoya's Faith, off a solid second at a big number behind Byrne, who was, 1-5 last time, I think?
Yeah. Definitely. That was a horse that was just supposed to win. Zoya's Faith is just drawn well in this race here today, and I just feel like there's been a lot of chances where it looked like she was going to get it done and she didn't, and I understand maybe some trepidation with her, but we see this a lot. It just seems like they can cycle in and out of form, and today we have Miguel Vasquez aboard, which is a good sign.
She's my 5th pick, so she is in my early
she is
pick
in your
5.
ticket, yeah.
For sure. I'm on the 8 here, Starship Spectacle. If nothing else, she's got upside. Steve Dwoskin's not really a guy that's going to crank him up first asking, but I thought she was a pretty good 4th. She didn't want to route last time. I think now getting back to a sprint, we've got Edwin Gonzalez. We've got a stat here, too, as well on Steve Dwoskin that Ronnie pulled up. We'll take a look at that. It's just 20% that Samantha pulled up here. But 4 for 5 in the money. Excuse me. Don't want to slight the stat gal, actually, I should say. Route to sprint. So 4 out of 5 in the money. I would think by post time this horse is one of the ones in here, because if nothing else, as I mentioned, the U word, we've got upside. Not a lot of that going on here in the opener. We've got you've got the 1. I don't have the 1 anywhere. Let's at least talk about her Vanishing Wish. She, draw a line through the dirt race. I guess that Tapeta race 2 back wasn't terrible.
No, it wasn't horrible, and the Tapeta efforts, the race 2 starts back and 3 starts back, those were good ones that produced next out winners. I don't know, maybe she'll just get a piece. It's a tricky post, though. Very
tricky post down there, especially with a field of 11, full big field here to kick off the week. Should say. Race number 2 is the early pick 4, and we'll go 5 furlongs here on the Tapeta. $25,000 maiden claimer, 3-year-olds and up. Clean field of 7, and it's you on the early pick 4. No TT pick 3 today. That'll be back tomorrow. So we'll take a look at Samantha's early pick 4 ticket.
Yep, it's an $8 play for me. I had some leverage because I have my best bet in race number 4. In race number 3, a bit of a spread for me. I can't really tell where a lot of these horses' form is at, but the 3 on top for me in race 3, race 4, there's my best bet. The number 1, Spicy Guacamole, and in race number 5. Just too deep for me. I did lose 1 runner out of here, but the 5 on top for me for Carlos David.
All right, well, let's get to this opening leg here. As I mentioned, a field of 7, a clean field of 7. Should have a pretty stiff and heavy favorite in here. But you're going to go to the 4 Devilment for Joe Orsino. Going to try a Tapeta sprint, sprinting for the first time in quite some time.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a good move here, especially because the 2-turn races, I actually thought that this was a horse that needed longer from the beginning, but he just really didn't fire at all. His grass races, sprinting, were pretty solid. Now he gets Paco Lopez again. At least, if nothing else, he'll get him aggressively placed, I think.
Yeah, I just, to me, he looks drastically off form because his last
you're
2
not wrong.
races have been just absolutely non-competitive. Maybe the sprint wakes him up.
Yeah.
It's good to see Paco come aboard, you know, and knows Joe well from Jersey and riding here. We'll see what we get today. I just thought the 6 was going to be tough in here. Matt Gore on the maiden special weight drop, chased and tired last time, but at least he's lightly raced and he is in good form, which is more than most of these can say.
And this is a good post, too. Much
Very
better
good post.
advantage in the 4.
Yeah, without a doubt, a little bit of an interest in the 1, Peace Not War, who's interesting for the Bennett barn, Gerald Bennett. Now, we haven't seen him since January at Tampa. Is he legging up for there? He couldn't get it done at 3 to 10.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. But going to try the Tapeta for the first time, something new. Again, post position. Ooh.
Yeah, comes in off a bullet drill, though, as well. So could be a little bit live. Race number 3 here, one more before the break. 7 furlongs, an $8,000 2L on a fast main track. These are 3-year-olds and up. Another clean race of 10 in here. And you'll go to the 3 Cadron Settlement. You got to talk me on this horse because I just felt like between the maiden win 2 back, and we'll show the video here because they actually lost to the 4 first team last time. I don't know what to make of this horse. I think he's a little dressed up.
Well, that's fair, but this was also the day that the track played to the outside paths and closers. The main track did. So Bold Looker was the one that, had the easy go of it here. This is exactly how the track was playing this whole day on the main track, and it's hard to get a grip of that because we don't usually run enough dirt races to get a good gauge, but that was a day I felt like it, and now today I feel like maybe with his speed he should be a little bit better. Yeah,
and to be fair, that was his first start against winners as well, and he certainly didn't disgrace himself. You gotta think they're going to send it in on the 9, Pascal Moon, newcomer for Debona, who's 23% with these kinds, and he's just been facing tons and tons better. You're in for a quarter, in for 16 up at Saratoga with Tom Morley.
Yeah, this is anything Bobby Debona gets, it seems like new to his barn, they usually win right off the bat. There's another one of those on Sunday he got from George Papamadromo.
Yeah.
So this is the horse to beat.
Yeah, the turf horse that he actually scratched on the Tapeta, and now we're going to get to the turf hopefully on Sunday. Yeah, they're probably going to bury this horse. Wouldn't be surprising at all if it's a lot lower than the 2-to-1 morning line, especially if they don't send it in on anyone. Grand Daniel, I think, is trying to get into the record books as a horse that's been scratched more than anybody else since that race last November, when he was really good, by the way.
Yeah, I have no idea what to do with him here. I used him in my ticket, but
yeah, he's in no ways, to me. They've tried. He's been entered literally 6 times.
Yeah.
This looks like right now at 12:01 in the PM that he's going to meet the starter.
He might today.
I don't know. For him, 151 in the PM's a while. The maiden win was super good. That was back when Victor was fighting for the trainer's title. He put him in there. He was a good thing debuting for 10, but yikes, we haven't seen him since, and I have no idea what to make of him. My first team, hit a sloppy track last time. It didn't work out, but you saw him beating Cadron Settlement on the square 2 back, and he'll be probably a better price than a few of these in here as well. All right, we'll take a quick break here. 3 down, 6 to go. When we come back, it's rainbow time, 125 in your estimated jackpot. And, of course, don't forget now tomorrow, a mandatory payout day regardless. We'll take a look at Ronnie's ticket when we come back. Stay tuned.
And they're off. Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to drf.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
And welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you. A little bookkeeping, had a couple late scratches. We'll get to them in a second. And race number 8 just came in that we'll talk about in a second. Just updating some tickets. But the Rainbow 6, that's Ron's ticket. And it's going to get going here in race number 4. $125,000 in your estimated jackpot. Of course, a mandatory payout tomorrow. Jump in today, though. These are great times to get involved. Try to sweep this thing. We'll take a look at his ticket right now. And there it is, $48.60.
There you go. He's 3x3 in the first 2 legs. You see in race number 6. Give me Liberty on top for him. His single, it must be his best bet here. After coming back from the Tampa Bay Derby where he did not show much at all. Race number 7, he's got the logical players. The number 8, Mrs. Clean, the 5, and the 1, Pop Style. Race number 8, that was the race that we just got a couple late scratches in. The 6 and the 7 are out. It did not affect Ron's ticket. He's still got the main players here. And in the finale, just 3 deep, 4, 5, and 6 for him. Those were the 3 that I used as well on the grass for the $25,000 level. $48.60, Brian.
All right, let's get into it now. This is our first turf race of the day. We're at 1 mile and a 16th in this $25,000 maiden claimer. We do have a scratch here of the 5 far above. The rails are out at 52 feet here, and you are down on the inside. Spicy Guacamole getting back on the turf for Jerry O'Dwyer. I'm going to route on the turf for the first time as well.
Well, the rails are at 52 feet today, and that means speed is going to be a big asset in a race like this. And with Spicy Guacamole, she's got that speed. With the rail, I think she'll be forced with her hand a little bit more than maybe she needs to be, and that could be a problem if you wanted to pick holes in her. But to me, I think that the turf is just a much better surface for her.
Yeah, I mean, she's run well on it, and that turf sprint back in June was a pretty solid effort. I kind of worry where her form is. Conversely, Boots on the Moon, who I made favorite on the morning line, could be the 2 in here with Zaya as a board, but Boots on the Moon beat her on the square last time, and she's got the speed. Blink's going to go on for Ronnie Spatz, too. Kind of looks like a send mission as she tries to turf.
Well, that's another thing. And she did take the lead in that last start, but you look at those fractions. They were so kind of turtle-like. We'll look at a stat, too, for Bouchero. This is a horse that's very good early and very good sprinting, but with turf routes, not so much, only 7%. That's a big enough sample for me to want to stay away from this horse.
Yeah, and to be fair, Ronnie's 0 for 18 first turf as well, so we'll see what we get today. She is seemingly on the improve, but yeah, you're right. There's not a lot of turf. There's not a lot of route distance in this pedigree either, but that's what she's been doing all along. She's been doing it pretty well, too. From there, we kind of drift a little bit. I actually put Corona Princess on top because I thought that her now on a little bit of a drop, second off, I didn't want to pick these two horses, to
I
be
don't blame
perfectly
you.
honest
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And Shack Revenge was a pretty big winner the other day. Man, she's coming back quick. There are a couple horses that are coming back a little bit quick today, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like that too much.
Lone Turf race was at Saratoga in July, so against obviously it's a big class drop for her. Late pick 5 in race number 5. We'll kick it off at a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta. These are 12-5, 2 L's, 3-year-olds and up. We've got a scratch of the 7. You're my style. Say that quick. That one's going to be out. We'll take a look at Samantha's late pick 5 ticket now before we get into this one.
It's a $36 play for me here. Race number 6, as we'll get into the 5th in just a second. The 9 I do have on top. That is From the Clouds. Race number 7, I have the 7 on top, The New Beginning. That is my long shot play today. Race number 8, that was the race that we had a couple of scratches very late announced to us. The 2 is who I've scratched into, which is funny because I on purpose did not pick Pretty Keen on top because I did not want to get any heckling from you. And lo and behold, my top pick is scratched. So here we are, Pretty Keen on top. And in the finale, race number 9, the 6, it's a single for me, Roscoe Village, Fernando Abreu, and Powder Pop. But I'm just going to defade the big favorite of Safi and hope for the best here.
I'm actually with you in the finale as well. This was a horse that I was going to use the other day, scratched out of there, so I didn't. Safi's got the horse to beat. I did pick her on top, but I do think that she is the main danger. You didn't think I was going to say I'm with you, I'm Pretty Keen, did you?
No,
Now,
I never thought that.
Here we go now in race number 5, and this is a pretty competitive race. I know a 4-1 is out, tepid 3-1 favorite on your morning line. You're going to go to the 5, who is the favorite now. Akati King is going to try Tapeta for the first time for Carlos David.
This is a huge move here, especially when Carlos David claims a horse. His claiming rates are insane. There's a stat that I found. I think it's for Sunday. He's like 4 for 8 first off the claim. Now this is second off the claim, but first time on the Tapeta. So first time on the surface switch. I think that checks out here.
Yeah, and we're going to drop as well.
Yeah.
That was that Mr. Scatter race, I think, was a pretty good race, actually, for a quarter. They didn't bet that horse with the Churchill. Maybe it was Ellis Form, but he was pretty good in the slop that day. Long shot for me, the 2 Gemstone Warrior. Going to finally, A, get back to the races, B, get back to the Tapeta. We got a couple replays to show you in this race. The first is Gemstone Warrior. This is the maiden shocker at 48-1, and he earned it. He was a ton the best in this race. Check this out now. He's in the back here. He's the 8 horse, and he's going to check right out of it. These are 12-5 maiden claimers, and he's 48-1. And watch what he's got to do from there to get into this position from here. And when he tips out, he's up in time. He didn't have to be 48. I certainly didn't pick him in this spot, but he didn't have to be 48-1. He had just one prior to Peter race.
Yeah.
Now we're back with Pete Walder. We like the job he does. We're freshened in here. The price should be right. He was so much the best in that race.
Yeah.
I'll come back with him at he should be we lose a 4-1 in here, but he's got to be close to 6, 8, 9-1 in here.
Yeah, he does. And here's the thing. He's a horse that obviously has got soundness issues because his spacing is just all over the place, but he runs really good fresh.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the 4 Blaze of Color. You didn't use. I've got him in 3rd. This is nothing more just than a 16K maiden claiming win. This is his first start on Tapeta and first start at 2 turns, and this was domination here.
It really was. To me, whenever you're a $16,000 claimer or a 12-5 claimer, it's difficult to win like this. And I'm not saying the horses he was running against were anything to write home about, but this was still very impressive.
Yeah, you see Ragman there up at a giant number, 45-1, but he did it the right way. He's not facing a group of world beaters. I almost said Walder beaters in there, but he's a player in here, but he is meeting winners for the first time. Let's take a look now. Late pick 4 kicks off with a really fun maiden special weight on the main track. Got a field of 10. There is one scratch. The 3 Jamaica Red is out of this race. We go 7 furlongs on a fast Class main track for 3 and up. Let's take a look at my late pick 4 ticket now. I've got an $18. Well, I think, is it still 18? No, it's going to be $13.50 now with the scratch of both of our top picks in race number 8. That's a bummer. 3 deep here in race number 7. The top pick is the 8, and that is Mrs. Clean for Safi. Race number 8 now. This is the scratch into, and that will be the 4, Happy Bella, who I wanted to at least try to beat, not use on top. I am going to single Love Mammy Love, who's the horse to beat, but I agree with you with Roscoe Village. No problem taking her. I just don't want to double a ticket for $27. Yeah. But compelling maiden special weight here to kick off the late pick 4. It looks like Ron's got the best bet of the day for him in the 1, Gimme Liberty. I didn't want to put that one on top. You are all over the place here. From the Clouds, the 9, you got to talk me into this horse for Safi, which is, you know, I just keep beating my head against the wall trying to beat these horses. Yeah. This horse will probably be 5-2 for some reason, but I don't see anything here.
That's fair. The blinkers go on. That doesn't, to me, I don't really like blinkers on a horse, but he's gelded, and that's significant from his last race. I don't feel like this is a horse that really suited well on the grass. I think it was maybe more just trying to get a bit more distance with him, maybe. He's a quick horse, and I think he's much quicker than he's shown, at least in his last 2 races. So now we get Mika Husbands aboard. Wow, what an incredible job he's been doing. This is a great outside post position, too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and play jockey's musical chairs. Edgard's not in the race. That was, to me, said, well, you know, wouldn't he ride? He rode both starts. Horse, you know, was not good on debut. I know Big City finally broke through that day. We'll see what we get today. Hopefully you do get a square price, but time and time again they seem to bet these horses off the board. Beach Gold, we'll show you the replay. He's never tried the main track. He's never tried 1 turn. This is a Samantha Perry angle, though. He's by Omaha Beach out of a Smart Strike mare. It's all in there, and I got a feeling he really moves up today.
Yeah, this was, I went between both of these horses trying to decide who I wanted to put on top, and both of them I feel like you have to use. Beach Gold has run well on the Tapeta, so that's a good sign here. But today we're going to get Paco, and that's not where you want to be at all. And the dirt today, this horse has all of these route races, these 3 route races, so we know he's fit enough for it. He's got the air in his lungs for it. Now we're just going to transfer it over to the dirt. A nice work on October 20th at Palm Meadows as well. Yeah,
and Paco aboard here, and they like to bet these horses. Big figure last time out, and that's, you know, take it for what it's worth. What do you do with the 1, Gimme Liberty? I put him in second. I don't love him in this spot. You didn't use him at all. From Diodoro to Nolan Ramsey. He's been working up a storm, but I don't know.
I know. I should bite my tongue with these horses. Nolan Ramsey has gotten a couple of horses from Robertino Diodoro, and I think the last one I just completely obliterated. I was like, there's no way, and the horse won easy. So maybe I should just stick my foot in my mouth, but I'm sorry. I just don't see it. He ran as a maiden in the Tampa Bay Derby, which, why? I have no idea, and he obviously didn't show anything at all.
No, couldn't get it done at Oaklawn, and I agree with your kind of what happens there doesn't happen elsewhere at Oaklawn. Nolan is a really sharp trainer. I believe he's around 0 for 8 or 9 with first-time starters. This is not a first-time starter, but it kind of sort of is in a sense because it's the first time in the barn, and we haven't seen him since March 9th. Does he need one? It's the rail. It's 7 furlongs. Those, don't forget now, those are 2-turn races at Oaklawn. Even the mile, I was willing to, at least on top, make this horse prove it to me. Magical Song, I picked Magical Song 2 back. He ran so big, I think he probably paid the price for it last time. I just don't know which way he's going.
I don't know either. I think maybe, well, one, she also is a filly in this race.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Which, that's tough. But her figures fit here.
Yeah, she fits like a glove here.
Exactly. So I get maybe the connections trying this, and then the dirt races are few and far between here. So I think it's a good sign that, you know, they're willing to try the boys just to get a race.
And this is a type of race that could really blow up the rainbow too. Because listen, all the horses we've talked about, they're no great shakes, and they've got some vulnerability to them as well. If somebody happens to come up with a big lifetime effort, late pick 3 in race number 7. Don't forget that's $1 late pick 3 as well. 5.5 on the Tapeta. It's a start starter optional claimer here for the 2-year-old fillies, a clean field of 9, and you go to the 7, the new beginning. I gotta believe you texted me the other day. I gotta believe this is your long shot.
Yes,
okay,
it is
15 to 1.
Yeah, this was I picked this horse on debut, and then I picked her again in the Sharp Susan. I met a little horse called Winning You're In, and she wanted no part really, it seemed like, of the dirt. They've tried her on the grass since then. Didn't fare well at all, but now we're back to the winning surface. I think it's a good sign that Misael jumps aboard, but also could be a bad sign too, because look, there's a lot of speed in this race. Whenever she won on the Tapeta, she was doing it wiring at very quick fractions, but now I worry, is she going to get in all kinds of I don't know, pace tangle?
Yeah, I don't think she's quick enough, to be honest with you. So maybe that might help her, actually.
Maybe,
settle
just
a
by
little
default.
bit. Yeah, absolutely. Mrs. Clean on top for me. Nothing clever here. Safi off the claim. You know, he's 29% here. It's a perfect post. Burned a lot of money for Carlos David, but finally got it done at evens last time. Nothing clever at all. What I want to show is the replay of Money Bouquet. We didn't use this horse, but this is like a rainbow horse. If you're thinking outside the box, you want a chance at sweeping this thing. Watch her level off in the lane. You do not win Tapeta sprints running like this. It was her first start on Tapeta, her second lifetime start. Samantha, this was a good effort.
It really was. And these Mr. Moneys are 2-year-olds this year. And this was in the wrong lead as well. So the way that she did this was pretty impressive. Now, I don't know who she was running against, but still.
She was 22 to 1 that day. She's 15 at least on the line in here. You're going to get a big price if you're spreading. If you're thinking about you really want to take a real shot at this rainbow before it's mandatory day tomorrow, she's the type of horse that you should toss in there, which should be at least, you know, double-digit kinds of odds. Race number 8 is the Tapeta here. State-bred optional claimer. These are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. This is where we kind of took a little break there midway because 2 late scratches came in. The 6, She Might Dance Salsa, and the 7, Bedrock Birdie are late scratches. The 6 and the 7 are out. We both lost our top pick. The 7 for me, 7 for you as well. You scratch into your old buddy pretty keen.
Yeah. Oh gosh. This mare, she needs like 6 furlongs, and unfortunately we just don't do that on the Tapeta or the grass. She leaves herself with way too much to do. I love the fact that Connections have keeping her sprinting. She's a half too extravagant kid, a Group 1 winner, turf sprinting. Look, I don't have anything clever to add to her other than the fact that Edgar Zayas back on May 31st actually had her up on the pace, chasing some pretty quick fractions, was her best effort lately as far as the beginning of the race. Now, I want to see that same kind of movement here today. Can she get it done? She's 1 for 33. I don't know. It doesn't look likely. Hopefully you get a fair price because she needs to be.
Yeah, the scratches are going to hurt that because, you know, now with Edgard as well, kind of sort of musical jockeys. Initially, Edgard was named on the 3. He'll ride the 2, and Drayden Van Dyke, vice versa. So we'll see what we get. She runs on. I'll give her that. She's going to get a piece in here. I scratch into Happy Bella at 30 cents to the dollar. She gutted it out last time. It was no great shake. She does face winners today. She certainly makes a lot of sense with the scratches now. They'll hammer her pretty good for Rohan. I want to show you the video, though, of Bodacious Bren. This was a big time effort last time. I don't like her running style. This is Vindicate Cha-Cha as well, who's going to give it up in deep stretch. I don't like the running style, but Bodacious Bren, this was a fast race if you want to believe it for the level. She ran well.
She did, and like you said, her running style is not ideal in these types of races by any means, but the fact is she tries really hard, and I love the fact that, Misael brought her to the outside, and that's kind of what you're supposed to do on these Tapeta races, because the rail, we never see anybody. Imagine if he just would have waited and maybe would have been more ground saving, but you pay the price.
You go back and watch the head-ons of the Tapeta races, you're going to see horses in the 7, 8, 9 path way out there seemingly moving forward, while a lot of times down on the inside it can be a little bit quicksand-like. These scratches really help the 8 Vindicate Cha-Cha. It's not going to help your price on her, but she gave it up. You saw it there last time. She should not have to work as hard up front today.
Nope, she shouldn't, and this is the one that definitely moves up here.
Yeah, without a doubt. And she's got a good race or two in her, and when she gets to the front, she can get brave. She just went way too fast last time against a good group. Race number 9, we'll wrap it up on a firm turf course. Again, the rail's at 52 feet. We go a mile here. $25,000 claimer, 3-year-old fillies, 3 and up, which have never won 3. And this is a clean field of 9. You've got the 6 Roscoe Village, scratched out the other day, I believe, on the Tapeta to run in this spot.
Yep. It was an off the grass.
Okay. Okay.
I think, I'm pretty sure it was an off the grass event. Maybe not. It was. I had her singled. I do know that. I like her a lot on the grass here today. I just feel like she's the one. Fernando Abreu and Patter Pop, these connections, these owner-trainer connections do very, very well here. Good post position. She's got that tactical edge to her, and that'll help.
Yeah, I just reversed it.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time if Love Mammy Love was in for a tag, albeit a 2L, she walloped them at Safi, and they're gonna bet her with 2 hands, and rightfully so, because she is the horse to beat.
Yeah, she is, and she's coming from Kentucky Downs, where they bet her to the favorite.
How about a replay on Bluffing? If another one you want a little bit price alternative, on Blushing, excuse me. That is the 8. This is the race 2 back. And I want to show you, this is why I think replays are important, because you look at the chart line, block, stretch, and the running line, excuse me. I'm not really going to disagree with that at all. She had trouble, but when you watch replays, it's not the chart caller's job to tell you, where she was going to finish. She didn't have any run.
No.
And she got in a little bit of a jackpot there because she didn't have any run. And I think that's important to show you. People see that. They see the trouble lines, and rightfully so. That's the job they do, and they do a good job upstairs. But, they're not saying block stretch didn't have any run. You got to go back and watch
you have
that.
to go back and watch it, and maybe that's something that, as a bettor, you go, okay, well, it's the last race. Do I throw her in? And that's showing you don't. You're fine without her.
No, I don't think she had any run at all, but, people are going to see that, and they might play her a little bit. She's rising in class today as well. So that's the 9-pack for you here. Don't forget now, 125 in the estimated jackpot today. Tomorrow's a mandatory day. Let's take a quick look at the lightning round, though, and as we do each and every Friday, we'll take a look at the standings. And this is fun now, actually, because, in the past, especially over the summer, Edgar Zayas is down the road. Well, everybody's making him earn it, and this is a good Jocks room, Jocks colony we have right now.
Yeah, it is. Look at this. These two tied up, Edwin and Edgar. It'll be fun to see as we get closer to the championship meet if it separates some, but the whole top 3, they're riding well. All of them, honestly, are riding well, but it'll be fun to see how it kind of shakes out. We've got some moving and shaking. We've got the Breeders' Cup next week. Maybe somebody will pop out for a little bit. I know Drayden won Sold an Angel.
Yeah.
Be out there. So, be exciting.
Filly Mare Sprint, which she earned a bid into when she won our Princess Rooney here, the Grade 3. And, boy, she did it in style as well. Let's take a look at the trainer standings now. Safi is, I'm not going to call him down the road yet, but he's getting there. Carlos, David, Jose, Rohan, everybody else, the gang's kind of all here.
Yep, they are, and doing a very good job at it as well. Definitely a numbers game with a lot of these guys.
Yes, without a doubt. Let's take a look now. That mandatory, you see it there, Mano. That'll be tomorrow now. They're expecting or estimating $1.5 million in the pool. Of course, it's got to go through today as well, but regardless, it will be a mandatory day, and it will be a very healthy pool.
It will. $1.5 million in the estimate. Great racing. Only one Tapeta race in the sequence, which is very exciting, and that's a tough one. It's very, very tough. I was able to find a single, but it was not without some headaches first. But we'll have tickets out, we'll have videos out, so make sure to take a look.
Weather looks good as well.
Yeah.
If you haven't been around here in a little bit, the weather has finally broken, and the humidity's gone. It's been tremendous. So we hope to see you out here, and what better day. We do these tastes at the tracks every about once a month. They've been very, very successful. This is November 23rd, so take a note of that. We're going to have a lot of fun here next Friday and Saturday, too. Remember that, the Breeders' Cup. We'll be talking about that as well. We're going to film a lot of different things where they draw that Monday. We've got a lot of horses to talk about and local connections as well, so pop on down here. New post, and speaking of which, that is next Friday now, November 1st. We're going to revert to a noon post. That is next Friday.
Yeah, come out and join us. It'll be a fun day. We've got Future Stars Friday here for the Breeders' Cup, so we'll be sending it in. It'll be a very, very fun day.
Yeah, that's Friday, Breeders' Cup at Del Mar, but noon post here. Your best bet today?
It is Spicy Guacamole.
There you go. In race number 4, I am one race earlier in race number 3, Pascal Moon. That first time to the DeBona barn down from Saratoga. And your long shot, 15-1, right?
Yeah, the new beginning for me, yeah.
Race number 7 is the 7. See
Seven.
The 7. See what I did there?
I get
How about
it.
that? Where am I at with my long shot here? Race 5, the 2. Gemstone Warrior back on the Tapeta, 48-1 maiden claiming win. 2 starts back. We'll see what we get today. Did it with a lot of trouble. So there is 9 races for you today. That Rainbow in race number 4, 125 in the estimate. Ronnie will be out here for the opener. Pete's upstairs. Not a lot to do with the scratches and changes on a fast and firm Friday, and we like that. Best of luck today.